Hey sunshines, welcome to BunniPhish Crafts. I'm your host Heather, known as BunniPhish on all the places on the internet. If there's a bunnyfish, it's probably me. Today is sometime in March, so this is future Heather checking in. So I have a lot to catch you up on because I finished recording February, I edited it, I uploaded it, and the first 30 minutes have no sound. And I don't usually do this, but I did that this morning. I edited it yesterday and I finished uploading it and posted it to YouTube today. And this morning I deleted all of my files and emptied my recycle bin. I don't usually do that. So I don't have the original files for the last week of February. I guess I could go through my phone's trash and pull them out and try to redo the things, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to edit. I'm not going to pull whatever it took to make 30 minutes of content because I don't want to edit all of that again. So I'm sorry that this is not the original content. I will tell you that those 30 minutes only spanned a few days, one of which was a snow day. So I had a lot to say. I think I finished, I'm pretty sure, if I recall correctly from editing, that I finished knitting on a pair of mittens. So I will grab those in a moment and show them to you. But I finished the mittens since I saw you last and started the cowl for my aunt with the white bulky yarn and the strand of mohair. So so I did that since I saw you, and before, like on that snow day, I finished those and started the cowl. And I talked a lot about the blanket, and I think that I talked about a journal thing on that day too, but I can't remember. So when you watch this vlog, if you're interested, if I don't talk about my idea for my 100-day project this summer, because I don't do it when people are doing the 100 days project, I do it over summer when I actually have time to do a 100 days project. If I don't talk about that in this video, will you let me know? And I will record about that, because I don't want to record that right now if I'm just going to talk about it later in the February video, because I can't remember exactly what day I talked about that on. It could have been the snow day, but yeah, that's a bummer. That 30 minutes of footage is not great. The big thing that you missed is that my car, remember I was going to go get my kids from their dads? Well, my car was not good, and my boyfriend's friend looked at it and he was like, I wouldn't drive that to go to the middle of Ohio. Like, I wouldn't do that. Most of the time, most of the other driving in my life is like, for sure, less than 10 miles from my house. So if something happened, it wouldn't be the end of the world. But getting stuck somewhere in winter with or without my kids in the middle of Ohio would not be great. So I didn't end up going to pick up my kids. My kids' dad drove them all the way here. So there was panic cleaning. There was very much stress. I definitely talked about the mittens. There's some stitches in the mittens where it's a little bit tighter because I was stressed, because I was working on them when I was when I was like, when I took breaks from stress cleaning. Yeah, so that's awful. But it was okay. And I may have talked about starting a pair of socks for my sister's oldest kiddo, but I know I talked about it multiple times, so hopefully one of those clips made it into the February vlog. I'm sorry I'm not rewatching the 36 minutes that are still good to see if I talked about these things. But if I didn't talk about those socks, they're still a work in progress, so I will definitely be talking about them sometime in March. And I talked about the blanket a lot, the baby blanket. So it's spoiler alert for the March vlog. It's not done at the beginning of the vlog, so there will be more blanket footage in the March vlog. So I'll talk about that more there. Yeah, I think that's most of what you missed in the 30 minutes, like in a quick summary. So you know what? I'll show the mittens when I show the cowl, so I'm not gonna get up and get those right now. Sorry. But I hope you enjoy the rest of the February vlog, even though we missed out on a few days and it was 30 minutes of whatever. So out of character for me to like delete all of that information before I was sure that everything posted correctly. But it's been that kind of week. It's okay. I look forward to seeing you again in the March vlog. You can find out more about my car there and how that's going. Today's the 4th of March, so I still don't have my car back, but I should have it back soon. So hopefully right at the beginning of March, you'll be hearing that I have my car back. So I hope you are doing well, and I will talk to you very soon. So I was minding my business, walking through my bedroom, which has wood floors that need to be refinished, and I snagged the toe. I think this might be the seam of the toe even, and snapped the yarn. Look at that. Do you see that little twiglet in there? Just... So I'm going to fix this, because otherwise this sock is just gonna be living broken forever, because I don't love fixing socks. So I'm gonna fix it. And I have a length of yarn on a darning needle because my boyfriend asked me if I could fix his commercial socks, and I said I could, but I'm not going to. I will show you how to do it. And he was like, okay. And so I started showing him, and he was like, this is not worth the effort. And I was like, no, it's not. Like, I'm not fixing commercial socks, but hand knit socks, absolutely. So I already have this length of yarn on here, and I have another sock that I need to fix. So I guess I'm going to fix that too. It's my oldest kiddo's thigh-high socks. There's a hole in the foot, so I guess I'm fixing both of those today. Fine. In case you were wondering, that only took about 30 seconds. I duplicate stitched the row above a few stitches. I duplicate stitched the row where the break happened, and I duplicate stitched a little bit underneath. So I'm just going to leave these ends as they are. They should be fine. Hopefully then they don't bother me too much. If they do, I'll cut them then. But yay, sock is fixed. Hey sunshines, it's Wednesday, what is this, the 19th of February? I think so. Hi. So I did the 2 rounds before school. I will finish 2 rounds at lunch, which means I will still have 6 rounds to go if I want to do a pattern repeat a day, which I do. But man, it's so much knitting. I did do a pattern repeat yesterday, so I'm not going to beat myself up if I can't do it, but it's hard. This blanket is a labor of love, and it's hard. How much yarn do we have left? So much yarn left. So much yarn. Look how cute. One of my 3rd graders brought me a Valentine. Hey, sunshines. It's Friday, the 21st of February, and between Wednesday and yesterday, I finished a repeat, and today I didn't start my lunch on time. I worked for probably half of my lunch. So in that half of a lunchtime while I was eating, I managed to do a round and a quarter, I think. So not very much on this blanket, but it is coming up to the weekend, so I am hoping to do a repeat a day on the weekend. We'll see. I am hoping to do some tonight also. These repeats are long, but I really want this baby blanket to be done. However, I'm kind of stuck-ish. Like, what am I trying to say? I'm definitely not going to use up this whole ball because the baby shower is quickly approaching, so it's kind of just however far I get in the pattern by next week Friday, and then I need to finish this book sometime by midweek, so it'll be in pattern next week Friday, through next week Friday, and then I'll be starting the border. So I'm kind of hoping I get through this brown for the pattern and then do border in blue, and it'll just be as much border as I can get through by like Wednesday or Thursday, so I can wash the blanket and get it ready for the baby shower, because it's so soon. But that's where we're at. I'm almost done with the teal, so should be able to finish the teal today. It's just a lot. And yesterday, like when I got home from work, I took a 2-hour nap, and then I still went to sleep at my normal bedtime. And I did some reading, a little bit of reading, because I got the I don't remember what it's called, the Falcon and something. I'll show it to you this weekend. But it's by Piper CJ, who wrote The Deer and the Dragon, and I'm liking it so far. I've only read 20 pages, but yeah, I don't know. Thursdays are always tired days for me, though. Apparently, even if we only have 2 days of school at that point, still really tired. Also, I'm having a really productive day at work, which is good, but it's like it's really kicking my butt because schedule wise today's a Wednesday for my teaching, and paperwork wise it's a Friday. And the way that my schedule works with the 3-day rotation is usually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday I do the core lesson for all of my classes, and then on Thursdays and Fridays the kids are able to have a little catch up. It's a quieter day. If they're all caught up, they do a silent activity, and it gives me time to do the paperwork. And this week I don't have that, and last week we only had or last week we didn't have that because we had a snow day, and the week before that we didn't have that because we had a snow day and then professional development. So like, it's a lot, but it's okay. It's a lot, but it's okay. So yeah, sorry, I had to turn off my alarm. So I feel kind of dysregulated because we haven't had a normal schedule in a while. Next week is a normal schedule, but it's parent-teacher conferences, so not a normal schedule. It'll be okay. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Hello, sunshines. Happy Saturday. It's the 22nd of February. How are you? I am okay. Rough night, rough mental health night. Just a lot, but I woke up at like 4 a.m. and then fell back asleep at 5 and didn't wake up until 8:30, so feeling a little better. And I have done almost an entire repeat on the blanket, so let's talk about that. I guess technically I've done 8 rounds or so on the blanket, but I'm into this color right here, and I am debating. Do I want to continue on, or do I want to cut out this brown color, this browny gray, and then go right into the blue and the border after this? I don't know. I guess what I need to do is unscrunch one of the sides and measure how long one of the sides is and see if I think it's a big enough baby blanket or if I think it's too small. I don't know. It's a tough call. It feels a little weird because I don't have a sock project with me right now. I don't know where the pink sock is. Where did I put that? I'm not sure. I guess technically I do have a sock project. I could pull out the Romantasy sock, but that's not what I want. What I'm like looking for is just a vanilla sock or a ribbed sock, something to give my hands something else to work on other than the blanket, because I do want to put a lot of progress on this blanket today, because I am planning on not doing too much, a couple loads of laundry, and mostly just chilling. Excuse me. But I forgot, so I cast on a new Croy sock, a scrappy Croy sock, but I left that at school. And I can't cast on the socks for my sister's oldest kiddo because I'm pretty sure the needle for that is in my backpack, which is at school. I mean, I could cast on that sock. Maybe. Okay, so when I knit my DK weight, 2 strands of fingering weight socks held together, I used size 1s. But now that I'm thinking about it, so my size 1 needle is at school. But now that I'm thinking about it, what if I cast on the leg in a size 2 for my sister's oldest kiddo? And then when I get to the heel, I can switch to a size 1. Oh, I might do that because I just want that. I want something simple, something that like is nicer on my hands. Not that this is super rough on my hands, but it kind of is because of the center double decreases. Like they're not, it's not super hard on my hand, but it's not super nice on my hands either. And also it would be nice to switch between needle sizes. So this is a US 5, which is, what did we say this was? 3.75 millimeter needles, I think is what we said earlier this month. And then I could be knitting socks on a US 2, which is a 2.75 millimeter needles. And then I could also work on this cowl a little bit, which I don't know what these needle sizes are. I think they're on a US 11. I don't know what that is in millimeters, But yeah, just so I could give my hand a break, because I have been knitting exclusively on this morning, and I can feel that my hands need to change it up a little. The other thing too is if I decide to cut out this gray, then I'm going to put it in the student blanket, which the next auction is the middle of next month, and I'm still on the increase section of the student blanket. But I also want to make a blanket for Nikki's birthday, which is next month. I don't know. I'm doing too much. I have too many things that I want to get done within just a couple weeks. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I think I am going to cast on those socks right now, because that sounds like the best idea. And let's go with some dopamine. When you're knitting, do you have a preference for which side your yarn is on, or do you not care? Like sometimes I accidentally set down my yarn on my right hand side, and I can't with that. By the way, here's the sock cast on, the socks. I'm going to do them 2 at a time. I've already discussed this, I believe, on this video. So if not, I'll be discussing it in March. So it's cast on. I've done a round and a half. But yeah, I just like the yarn to be on my left side. I can work with it on my right, but it is much more irritating. I get cranky. And look at this. This is exciting. I don't know if you can see, but that the next color is showing through. What if I finish this stripe today? That would be amazing. I'm not going to push myself for that, but that would be exciting. What I am doing is doing a round on the blanket, half a round on the sock, and like 30 stitches on the cowl, just to like change it up for my hands. That's what I'm doing currently. Oh, I want to talk to you about some journaly things, actually. So I am going to probably go camping with my boyfriend and his friends. Not like camping, I don't think. I think the decision is more like get a cabin camping. But it'll be not in Michigan, kind of looking maybe in the UP of Michigan. I'm in the LP of Michigan, Lower Peninsula. So maybe in the upper, maybe in Minnesota, maybe Wisconsin, somewhere. But we're going to go. And I did this one time before, way back at like the first ZK. I was like, okay, I want to get yarn, but I have to have a budget. And how am I going to figure out my budget? Well, I figured out my budget by when I buy yarn, it goes against my budget for the vacation. And when I finish something, this is my tentative plan for like how things are going to be counted. Oh, I totally forgot that I'm giving myself credit for using up the remnants and mini skeins. That's exciting. But I'm not doing so great. I'm in the negative right now. So if my really quick math that I didn't, use a calculator for is correct, I'm like $33 in the negative. I really want to buy more yarn, but this is actually really helping me because lots of probably 10 times since the beginning of the year, I'm like, oh, I could just order yarn. I could just order some yarn. I don't need yarn right now for anything. Like, I've bought yarn for the things that I need to buy yarn for. None of these are frivolous purchases. Like, they're all for something. Except this. I mean, the Croy sock yarn, I could have not bought that for my sock, but like, it's been taking up so much mental real estate that I just bought it. So yeah, this is a thing that I'm doing, and I'm hoping that by the time we go camping, I will have made enough things that I'm in the positive rather than the negative. Okay, and then the other thing I'm thinking, I have not updated this at all since the first week of the year. I need to do that. But the other thing that I'm thinking about is I have these crafty goals, and I was watching, why can't I think of what it's called now? Cloudy Nook Crochet. Well, it used to be Cloudy Nook Crochet. Now it's a floss tube channel. But I was watching that, and she is doing a temperature project, but not like when she first said she was going to do a temperature thing, I was expecting her to pull out a cross stitch that has like little X's for every days or something, because I've seen lots of different temperature things. No, she's doing a temperature rotation. So and the way she's doing it is she's taking this second digit or the last digit and assigning it to 10 projects, and then picking her project for the day for like she dedicates an hour a day to that project. So things get worked on. And I'm not going to do that right now because it's the school year and I don't have time for that. But I am really, really thinking about doing that this summer when I have break, and maybe even on spring break, like assigning some of these a number. So the way it would work is, say we're going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not right. 8, 9, 10. Some of these are not going to be assigned like that because I'm not going to work for an hour on some of these. But anyway, let's just say it's like that. So if it's in spring break, if it's 45 degrees, I would find this one because this is number 5. If it's 32 degrees, I would go to number 2. Oh, that would be 5 and this would be 2. Whatever. You kind of get the idea, I think. But that's something that I'm like really, really intrigued by. And I love a challenge. Like, I love a knit along. I love a test knit. I love a thing where it's a certain amount of time where you're doing a certain thing. What's going on here? Is that just the light reflecting weirdly? I think so. So yeah, I love a little challenge. So I'm definitely, depending on what I'm doing for spring break, it's definitely a contender for how I might do some projects. And that would be a good way to get jump started on some of the projects for this year that I haven't started on. If I do that, I will definitely put it up. But what do you think of that sort of idea? I'm so intrigued. And I don't know that I would do it for the entire summer break, although maybe. I did that 100-day project, right? Oh, that could be a fun 100-day project. I'm going to think on it more. I'm just putting it out there. What are your thoughts? What do you think? I'm really, really leaning towards that. I think that could be a really great way to make progress on things, but not like, because I know me, and I know that I'm going to be working on something and I'm not, like, it's not going to be my favorite thing to work on. But if I only have to work on it for an hour a day based on the temperature, and she's doing it different ways. Like she says sometimes she takes the low, sometimes she takes the high, sometimes she takes the temperature that it is right then. I don't know which way I'm going to pick it, but like, what a cool concept. Hey, sunshines, it's still Saturday. I'm still working on this blanket. I made it all the way through that stripe. Why is that stripe so much narrower than the others? Like, that's extremely narrow comparatively, because this went from something like 4.5 repeats to 4 repeats to 1.5 repeats. So I think what I'm going to do is finish out this repeat in this brown color, and then possibly do 2 kind of straight rounds with increasing at the corner, but otherwise no texture. see how much of this brown I have left after that, and then maybe cut the brown and go into the border for blue, or like blue for the border. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to happen today or if that's going to be a tomorrow thing, but this cake of yarn is looking much smaller than it was yesterday. Much less daunting. Hey sunshines, happy Monday the 24th of February. How are you? I'm tired, I'm stressed. It's conferences week, but I don't actually have to do any conferences this time. Leadership has decided that the specials team can use that time to work on report cards because we don't have very many people come to us anyway, and we have 2 out of the 4 of us. There's 2 people who this is either their first or second time doing report cards at the school. So there's a lot to walk through. So I'm going to be doing that. Anyway, I've come to check in about some projects. First up, here's the blanket. And I am in that. I said I was going to finish out the pattern repeat, and I did that. And then I said I was going to do 2 extra plain rounds. So I'm on the first of those extra rounds. No, I'm on the second. I'm a quarter of the way through the second. I have this much of the gray yarn left. I think I'm going to cut it out. I don't know oh, maybe it's, okay. That is a lot. Okay, so I'm going to do 2 additional plain rounds, more than I thought I was going to do. And then I'm going to cut it. And then I am going to knit the border until I get to this lightest blue, and then I'm going to bind off in this lightest blue. Do I think that's enough to do an I-cord bind off? I don't know. I think what I'll do when I get there is I will unravel the whole thing, fold the yarn in half, and then fold it in half again, and then bind off the first side and see if that's enough yarn to do the I-cord bind off. So that's my new tentative plan for how I'm going to do the border. I don't know how many stitches I have per side, but there it is. And then I also it's Black History Month, and we have 2 hour-long assemblies for Black History Month. So I am working on a sock. I cast it on sometime last week with one of the leftover remnants of Patton's Croy. I have the second remnant attached, and this is what I'm going to work on at assembly. I really wish I could take the blanket. If I was still a para, I would totally take the blanket, but I'm not. I'm a teacher, so I have to be able to walk around, and this is just too much to walk around with. But that's okay. So sock work at assembly. It should be really cool. The music teacher is bringing in some musician friends of hers to do some sort of performance, and it's about an hour long. I'm looking forward to it, actually. It should be really cool. Hey sunshines, it's Tuesday morning. I've done the additional 2 rounds straight, and I'm going to cut out this brown because I feel like if I do 2 more rounds and then go into a border, it's going to look weird. So I am going to cut out this brown section and put it into the middle school blanket at some point, and then attach this blue. And the pattern calls for a seed stitch border, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to do garter ridges because it's faster.
Yeah, because it's faster. That's why. The seed stitch would look beautiful, but I don't want to. It's too much. So, like, if this was for my best friend's baby, like if one of my best friends was having a baby, I would just, I would literally gift them the blanket at any point when it was finished, and I wouldn't mind if it was a little bit late. But it's for my cousin who I don't really know that well. And yeah, I'm not gonna put in a seed stitch border. I'm gonna do garter stitch. So my plan is to do garter stitch through these blues, these 3 blues, and then maybe garter stitch, maybe I-cord bind off. Haven't decided. I'm sure I'll let you know as soon as I do, though. Hi friends, it's Thursday. Yes, I look as tired as I am. I am as tired as I look. Thursdays are hard days anyway, because it's just, I'm out of my introvert energy, but it's concert, I wish it was concert week. It's conferences week, and I am struggling. I don't like having to stay super late. But anyway, let's talk about this blanket real quick. This border is taking forever. Did I start this on Monday? I think so. And I'm only on the 3rd garter ridge, right? Yeah, I'm only in the middle of the 3rd garter ridge. This is gonna take forever. And there's so much yarn left. Look at all that yarn. Look at all that. I don't know. I'll see how far I can get on the border by like next week Wednesday, and then I'm done, and then I'm binding off. Wherever I am at the beginning of lunch next week Wednesday is as many garter rows as it's getting, because I'm going to bind off next week Wednesday at lunch. That's what I need to do to stay sane, but you'll have to wait until next month's vlog for that, I guess. Look how beautiful that ice pattern is on my windshield. Good morning, sunshines. Happy Friday, the 28th of February. It's the last day of the month. How have you been? I've been okay. This week has been rough though, because conferences. Like, I'm so tired. I don't know how I'm going to do today, but I'm going to do today because I don't have a choice, right? So, yes. It's Friday. It should be an okay day. I'm going to have one class period where I don't think I have any kids because there's a field trip, so that will be good. I can catch up on some things. I'm tired. I'm so tired. Hey, sunshines. Look at this. I have a special visitor.
Hi.
So, she didn't want to go on she doesn't like ice skating, and there was a
ice skating field trip.
That one for good behavior, and she has great behavior. So instead of having her sit in the room with students who couldn't go because of behavior issues, she's been hanging out with me for the past 2 hours.
Yep, working so hard, giving books to other teachers.
I know, she's been helping, which is amazing because we knocked out most of my to-do list this morning.
Yeah, and censoring what my shirt says. Yes.
My hoodie.
Yes. So that it's a secret where we're at school because we try to be safe. So
Yes.
anyway, that's exciting. I get to have lunch with my littlest nugget. And don't tell anybody, but I'm gonna let her watch YouTube, even though we're in school. Even though she's not supposed to use her phone in school. But we're on lunch. It's fine. I'm gonna watch some YouTube on my phone during lunch, so it seems fair.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, sunshines. Okay, so I'm home from school. So first, let's talk about the Fox and the Falcon, which I am loving. I really liked the Deer and the Dragon. I'm really liking this one. It's very, the Deer and the Dragon was mostly about like the Christian religion, and interesting. This one is more about Norse mythology, which is really, really cool. I like it a lot. I'm sorry, my washing machine is spinning. Could be loud. There's my daughter making noises. Sorry. I think I was just saying that I really liked the book. I paused because there was a bunch of noise. I really, really like it. Highly recommend. It's got like a little bit of spice to it, but not really. Like barely. There are some content warnings, sort of. There are content warnings. So, I don't know. If you're interested in what they are, I can tell you at some point. Or maybe I'll put the front, like the content warning thing in here. I'll do that. Okay. So here I am on the blanket. I don't know. I don't have that much yarn left to go. It's fine. It's getting really far. Look at how little, like the tiny amount of dark blue that's left. My washing machine is excited for me because the laundry is now done. It's very excited. I wonder if that song is copyrightable or copyrighted. I don't know. Anyway, I also was talking about this earlier this week, I think. I had the cuff started and maybe like, I don't know if I had the blue attached on Monday or not, or if I attached the blue on Monday, but this is how far I made it through. We had a few assemblies this week, so I worked on it during assembly as I was, watching children, reminding them how we behave during assemblies. So that's what I've got. I was so tired. I was so tired today. I know that I'm going to knit more tonight, but I don't know how much. So you'll see that in next month's vlog. I love you guys so, so much. I can't wait to respond to everything that you say in the comments. Have a wonderful start to March. Bye for now.